is ANN News Brief.
The United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, says children in the Democratic Republic of the Congo are susceptible to dying from epidemics other than coronavirus. The fund says the situation will likely worsen because of diversion of prevention resources to the fight against COVID-19. UNICEF says many preventable killer diseases have threatened DRC children. Nearly 18,000 children younger than 5 are reported to have died from the worst measles outbreak and malaria. Thousands of children are also reported to have been sickened by cholera. The report's author, Simon Ingra, also says more than 3 million children in the DRC are exposed to epidemics because they are not getting the health care they need. He also says 9 million children in the country need humanitarian assistance. The report calls on the government to allocate more funding for children's health care services to benefit newborn and young children. DRC has reported 98 coronavirus cases and 8 deaths. Algerian President Abdelmadjid Tebboune said Algeria has enough equipment, financial and organizational capacities to devote to the fight against COVID-19. Tebboune affirmed in a television broadcast on Tuesday that his country is ready to contain the pandemic. He stressed that compliance with preventive measures will enable the country to overcome the crisis. The president said the coronavirus situation in Algeria is under control. He said COVID-19 was an opportunity to revive the nation's industrial sectors, including hydroalcoholic gels, masks, and production of disinfectant products. He said the country has the capacity to allocate $1 billion to the fight against COVID-19. Tebboune also said military specialist doctors and nurses will support civilian hospitals to counter the pandemic. We'll be right back.
We are on the road every day, canvassing throughout Africa for news you really need. We follow this story everywhere, from every corner of Nigeria to the wide African expanse. We bring you what's making headlines. We connect you with news you can use. ANN, African News Network, in a truly African spirit.
Security experts on Africa have concluded conflicts on the continent are impeding efforts to effectively fight the coronavirus pandemic. They are calling for ceasefires to grant aid workers access to Africans at risk. They say although African countries are locking down cities and towns in effort to fight the spread of the virus, armed conflicts are hampering efforts across the continent to curb the spread. One of the experts, Dean of Academic Affairs at the Ghana Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Vladimir Antwi-Danso, says COVID-19 poses additional problems for African countries in conflict because there are no good systems in place. At least 15 armed campaigns are raging across Africa, and most African countries now have confirmed cases of coronavirus. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres called for global ceasefire last week to help fight the pandemic. That is ANN News Brief at 10. For details on these and other breaking stories, visit our website, annafrica.news. Conversation continues on our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at ANN Africa TV. I'm Lucy Adeyemi.